Hey everyone, welcome to Gray Man Prepping. And presenting tonight is Thursday Talk, events-based scenarios. And tonight's event is after the economic collapse. What are your plans now? Let's drop down here and bring Courtney up here. And she'll be coming in shortly. Had to put the little one down. So all right, so let me go back here and just see who's all in the side chat that came in. All right, Keith Kronk was the first one in. And I'm going to make sure everything's going here. Yeah. Followed by CR. That's Creative Redundancy from North of the Border. And we got Corsair Trainers. That's Steve Lurking. Dave Southern Ohio Prepping is here in the chat. Mouse Toes is here. Gear Grinding 19. The Kraken. And he's asking, is he here? Well, I think he is. Ragnarok Prepper's here. Hey, how's it going? Gardner Josh is here. Ginger Ninja. Thorhaven Farm. Tibor is here. Kalen Strain. Cosmic Cultivators. And I'm caught up. Cool. All right, so tonight's, how do I want to put this? Tonight's topic is something that's going on right now, if anybody's paying attention. Idaho Garden Girl just came in. One of the channels I've been following is called The Economic Ninja. And he puts out little blips a couple times a day as data comes up on his screens and stuff. And he's bringing out a lot of information that's a bit concerning. And he's talking, for over a couple of weeks there, he's talking about silver's doing good, but he kept on saying, but I'm not an advisor, so don't take my word for this. Things could change at a moment's notice. And some things are starting to change on the economic front. So this is, I think, a good one for everyone to consider tonight. And one of the things I want to talk about this is, I don't think, everyone thinks that the stock market crash of 1929 was a one-day event. It was actually a several-day event. And it started on, I remember, was it on Wednesday or was it on Black Friday after Thanksgiving? Either the day before Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving is when the stock market started going down. And then, of course, you had the weekend, and everybody was freaking out over the weekend, being knee-jerk reaction where, getting ready to pull money. And Monday morning, man, they just really pulled all the money, and it really took a nosedive. So, and then it took, and then the next day went more, and so it was a several day event going on. If our economy, and I froze in mid-fall, if our economics system was to collapse now, right now they got a bunch of these computer programs in there to stop trading and to buffer things. So it would take several long days to really go down. And so there was there's a lot of more buffers now, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means it may take a little bit longer. So, Tibor says the RCA stock market started the whole crash back then. People were selling short, and they were playing loose and fast with their money and didn't have enough capital back things up. All right, so along with this, let me go to the next slide here. Everyone thinks the economic collapse is going to be boom, there it is, and money all goes bye-bye, and everything just goes out the window. Hey, Ryan the Gamer. And so it's not going to be, quick, although there will be some things that will happen in a relatively short time. But one of the things that could happen this time that didn't happen the other time is how fast the Fed will react to shutting down bank accounts. And so, like a lot of preppers have been out there saying, and some of the how do you want to call it, underground economists have been saying, get money out of the bank now, and make sure you have at least 2 to 3 months worth of bills stashed in under your mattress, so you can keep paying stuff while everything's going until you have a chance to get back in and get whatever the rest of your money out of the bank. Now, one thing here that came up here, let's see if I get it to pop up here, right? Dave sent me this. It's not coming up here, right? Come on. I want to see that. There we goes. All right. Dave sent me this evening, and this is a report. General Mills will raise prices up to 20% in January. That's a 1 day increase, or not 1 day, but 1 month increase of 20%. Whereas some of the prices this last, earlier in the year was taking 3 to 4 months to do 15%. And they're planning on doing 20% in January. This is from Brett Bart stuff, and this is where he got it from. One of the places that talks about, and on brands by mid-January, not by the end of January, by mid-January. This was it was from a letter that was shared with CNN Business News. And so it's on a condition of anonymity to protect the company's relationship with suppliers. Somebody, you share it with the news organizations, and so things going on. And so brands include Annie's, the macaroni, not generic, the healthy macaroni stuff and everything, the gluten-free stuff. Progresso, Yoplait, Fruit Roll-Ups, Betty Crocker, Pillsbury, Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Wheaties, Reese's Puffs, Trix are some of the ones that are going to be going up 20%. All right, and here's what's interesting down here. In September, they reportedly that the expected inputs of cost inflation between 7 and 8% during 2022. So they've been hedging they've been taking the hit a little bit so far this year, but now they're going to catch back up and try to buffer for the rest of 2022. So, so I'm going to pull that down here, go back to us. So one of the things I've noticed with a lot of channels, The Underground is one that talks about stacking silver, and some of this talk about stacking gold. Some like me talk about stacking freezing. No. Some talk specifically. Some say any type of silver, any type of gold. Others say gold or silver coins. Some say doesn't matter. Go with the ingots because the coins aren't going to be worth what you're paying for them. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things to consider. What some are saying for economic collapse that way. I have a different spin on it. I am not an economic advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a grandson of some old farmers and stuff that are pulling out some old out of the back pocket hillbilly common sense. What I think you should be stacking is paying off your home bills. If you can get your home down enough where if it doesn't flip upside down on you, anything else, if everything takes a tumble like it did a little bit in 2008, you're better off. If you can get your house paid off sooner, I know this is like the train's pulling into the station and say, oh, I got to get all things ready here. Yeah, but if you can get your house paid off, if your house is free and clear of debt, you are so much better off. It doesn't matter how much gold and silver you have if they come in and take your house away from you. If you have land where you are growing a garden and you have fruit trees that are producing and nut trees that are producing, it puts you so much more, because then you're not having to buy food as much. And that was one of the things that my grandmother was talking about during the Great Depression. My mom was born in 1922, so she had just turned 7 when things went, and she was really a child of the Depression. But my grandmother was saying that at the time, she was wishing she was back on the farm with her family. But a bunch of about half the 14 brothers and sisters had already left the farm up by Coeur d'Alene, and those that were in the city took the hit. Those who were still on the farm survived. A couple moved back to the farm, excuse me, because they couldn't afford to be in the city anymore. So that's one of the, that's for me. That's, being married to an accountant. Hey, we just bought this place here. She's paying double monthly payments on it right now. That's the one across the street, she's paying 2.5 time payments on it from the time we got it. So it's, price is coming down. Unfortunately, hey, Mary Beth Smith, did I miss anybody else that snuck in here? No, I don't think so. All right. Yeah, Bruce snuck in here, but he's not coming up here. He got the link. Anyways, one of the things to consider on an economic collapse, in my opinion, and I could be totally off base, like I said, I'm not a financial expert, is that, jobs may suddenly go poof. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the big things that happened is, companies started going under, and other companies started, calling in for debt and everything else, trying to survive themselves. So one company fell, another company fell, another company fell, and it was a domino effect. And that's why we wound up with so many people unemployed, had such big soup kitchen lines. Albany Mountain Homestead, how you doing? Emma 3010, how you doing? Bountiful Harvest Abbey, hey. And so there were, I think a lot of the lessons that were learned during the Depression have been lost. My grandmother, I think she had just gotten divorced from her cheating husband.
Oh my gosh, I can't type.
And and at that time, she was now living down in Glendale, California, when the Depression hit. And I'm not sure what she was doing at the time, but she was going out working as much as she could, part-time here, there, doing all sorts of part-time jobs. And so my mother, who was 7, and my aunt, who was 5, I believe, she would cook breakfast before she left for work. The alarm clock would get up. My mom would get up, get her sister up, make sure she ate, got her all dressed and stuff, and they would go to school. And then she'd walk her home again and fix lunch or whatever, and and get stuff done. And so at 7, my mom was taking care of her younger sister, while my grandmother was trying to put food on the table. And so a lot of people on some of these channels are talking, oh, economic collapse, I'm all prepared for, I'm going to be wealthy afterwards. Courtney, what do you think about that? Someone saying, I got all this gold stuff, I'm all ready for, I'm going to be wealthy.
Honestly, I think that's all BS. honestly, the whole gold and silver thing, I think it's all BS. I think during an economic downfall, the only thing that is really going to help you and save your butt is the fact that you may have a skill that you may be able to trade off with. Not money, because think about it. You can't eat money. You can't eat gold. You can't eat silver. You know, it can only take you so far. And if you have all the silver and the gold in the world and you can't do anything, you don't know how to do a garden, you don't know how to can anything, I think in the end, I think the people that have specific skill sets and know how to do things, I think that would be better.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, though. But
yeah, and those that have a garden and are able to expand their garden and grow a little bit more than what they are eating can trade that food for a lot of stuff. I'm trying to remember where I heard it when I was younger. That someone was saying there will be a time in the future of the United States where a pound of gold will not even buy a loaf of bread.
exactly. I mean, think about it, and you think about it in like the past situations, specifically like Egyptian times and stuff like that. They didn't use, they had silver and gold, but they didn't specifically use it as a currency. They used it for decoration of things,
Yeah,
so it didn't have any value really.
Yeah, and salt was the currency.
Exactly, because they used it for everything, Mm-hmm.
So. Bruce can make freedom seeds from silver at least, only if you need to worry about werewolves. But yeah, all that stockpiling people are doing for gold and silver, I think they would be better off paying off their house.
Yes.
Then paying off their car, at least one car, so they have one way to get someone to get to work and stuff, and put the rest of it into long-term food. And shoot, I should have brought that up. If you have this just kind of, I think it's, to me, is kind of, it's an oxymoron. You see all these people with these big, huge lots, and what do they have on their lot? Grass everywhere. Huge grass in the front yard, big grass in the backyard, big trampoline out there, maybe a swimming pool. If those of you have seen seen my wife's garden tour of the California house, there's not one blade of grass on that property. The front yard, which we did up, and when we put the sprinkler system in, and we were going to have lawn, and we had lawn for about 1 year, and then all of a sudden she said, "No, we need to put garden out front." And so we put planter beds up there. She's growing all sorts of stuff in the front yard.
Nice.
We put all sorts of trees in the backyard. So we got apricot, Fuji, Granny Smith, an orange, 2 cherries. I'm going across to what I got there. Another apricot, a Meyer lemon, 2 more orange trees, sort of like a peach, but it's not a peach. A fruit. I can't remember what she likes. It I don't.
Persimmon?
No, not persimmon. Nectarine.
Nectarine?
Yeah, nectarine. I guess. And then she has a peach, and then she has 2 more lemon trees, and we have a big lemon tree on the side of the house that was there when we bought the place. And yeah, Amy, we got a lot of trees there, so, and we're always giving away lemons off the wild tree that, basically the tree was there when we bought the house, froze back and came up from the rootstock, and we got, lemons that big. And they're nice and everything, but that thing has so many freaking thorns in it. But that's one of the things that, so if worst comes to worst, we have food that's growing. Oh, not even counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grape plants that are on the property. So, that's what we have there. And some of these people with these huge acre city, rich people lots with nothing but lawn and everything. It's like, And how much do you guys owe on this property? Oh, we're mortgaged to the hilt. And what about your new SUV? Oh, we just got that. We got a 7-year loan on it. And the wife's SUV, same thing. And how big are your credit card bills? Oh, we pay off the minimum every month.
No, you have to like pay it off completely.
Yeah, I mean,
I am not one for charging a credit card. That give me anxiety.
Yeah, it's one of the things my wife taught me. I was slapped to the back of the head a couple times. Wake up, wake up. We pay on the credit card. What we charge on it, we pay off every month. And so basically there is no interest we are accruing on either of our credit cards. And it's been that way probably for 15 years where we haven't been late, haven't accrued any interest on them. And
that's awesome.
So it's, like if we're going to get something, do we have enough in the bank to put it on so we can get it on the charge card and then pay the card off? And all the card acts for us is like a 3-week buffer from the time it closes to the time we got to pay the next bill. But if the stock market here goes down over there, and everything collapses, and we have an economic collapse or a super hyperinflation, which leads to an economic collapse, like Zimbabwe and the one in South America, Colombia.
Yeah.
Anyway, just ridiculously amount, I mean, I think it was Zimbabwe. Anthony at Pimento Prepared has a $2 trillion note from Zimbabwe. It's worth about $18.
Wow. Yeah. Last night I got paid in South African money, which was my first time I ever gotten paid in South African money. I was like, it was very interesting.
I know Garden Girl said, yeah, it's Venezuela that sucks.
Hey, Corsair trainer.
Hey, Steve. The I guess Venezuela with all their oil fields and stuff was like the 4th or 5th richest nation in the world, and then they got crooked politicians in there. Does that sound familiar? And they jacked things up, screwed things around, and all of a sudden, getting a total collapse. I mean, people are going to buy a loaf of bread with a wheelbarrow full of money.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. And so tonight, the question is, when this happens, even though I think about every prepper has in the back of their mind that's a possibility, especially with all the channels out there talking economics and all the problems with hyperinflation and what they've seen in the last 9 months with the cost of beef and a lot of the meats and stuff just skyrocketing in parts of the country. What are you going to do? What are your plans if all of a sudden, the economy turns upside down? I mean, my plan is hopefully my wife will spot with her with all her financial stuff, spots in enough time where we can sell the California house, take the money, pay everything off here, and buy all the rest of the stuff we need. Buy several years of long-term food storage, and buy a couple tractors, and get a couple of fuel tanks on site so we have diesel fuel for a couple of years.
Yeah.
For our tractors, and be ready for it when it hits. That's the only thing I
mean, there's really nothing I can do. I mean, who knows when and if there will be a collapse like that. I'm well taken care of as far as things are concerned, but I just think that I would start breeding chickens. I have eggs. I have I have eggs, I have chickens, and if I couldn't get cows, I would always have chickens. So something to think about, I guess, so we wouldn't starve to death.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we can do here for us, because I got the 5 acres across the street, which actually is about 3 acres that I could take and grow alfalfa on, and alfalfa
Yeah.
and sorghum and some other stuff, and put a couple cows out there.
Yeah. I have like a whole bunch of alfalfa seeds. I was going to put a ton of fodder down and I didn't get a chance to do it this year, but yeah, it's just, that's something I would definitely consider too.
And Steve points out, look what happened in Argentina for ideas. Hey, Steve, do you want me to send you the link? Since I know you talked about Argentina once before. Oh, yeah, Caitlin has a good point here. Those who live on Social Security disability alone could get it really bad.
Yes. And what really ticks me off is Social Security has not raised hardly at all. I have an aunt and uncle who live down the street from me, and they're just not, I wouldn't say that they're barely getting by. They have money set aside, but their medications and stuff are freaking expensive. They keep talking about this donut hole crap, and it makes me so mad. I'm like, my aunt has Alzheimer's and they need specific medications. And then 1 month they're hardly close to nothing. And then the next month it's like $300 or $400.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Hey, bring them on with you. No, I was going to say, hey, Steve, bring them on with you. No. Okay, Kaylin has a thing of sorghum, whole grain, sorghum. Yeah. So there's, that's one of the things that I think most people can't even think about growing wheat.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Rice.
that would be tough here because, we could, I guess, but would we grow enough to survive? No. I tried to grow kidney beans over the summer. You would need like an entire field of kidney beans in order to get the supplies that you need for the year.
Yeah.
So that's tough. You can do what you can, or if you have a skill, you can trade your skill with someone that may have equipment to run a field of wheat or or soybeans or anything like that.
And that's one of the things. In several of the books I read, the author actually researched how to harvest wheat, and he went and talked to some old timers and stuff. He used to do stuff by hand and stuff. And if you can grow wheat, that's not the problem. It's harvesting the wheat. You got to get out there with a sickle or a scythe and cut the stalks. Make sure you don't knock all the seeds off while you're cutting it down. Take it to an area where you can thrash it and get the kernels out of it, and it's a problem. Sorry, folks, I'm recuperating from the goopy cough my grandsons gave me. It gave me a goopy cough, and then it then turned into a sinus thing, and so now I'm going to have what I call my catch-22 cough for the next 3-4 weeks, where I drip a little bit, my back of my throat gets irritated, I cough, it irritates the throat more, causes more. I bought stock in Halls this year. But there's a lot of things that we need to think about besides stacking gold and silver.
Yes.
I would personally, I think it'd be better just to stack food. The freeze-dried stuff. We've had stuff that's lasted over 30 years. So, and we actually had some that companies no longer in business. They got run out of business by the fast money changers at some of the other ones that got some backing and just over flooded the market with their product and their marketing. But we have stuff that's 50 years old, and every time we crack a can open, it's still good.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm not going to turn into a zombie. Might turn into a growling grump, but not a zombie. So, guys, in the chat, what do you think you can do if all of a sudden everything goes and in a week and a half everything takes a downturn? Unfortunately, I don't have a freeze dryer, Abby. I would, that's one thing I wish we had. All right, CR says, yeah, both food and water containers, IBC totes to go with food and growing it. Oh, CR, you just made me think of something. Does anybody in the side chat have a swimming pool? If you have a swimming pool, here's what one guy did. The upkeep of the swimming pool got more than it was, and the kids weren't really using it. So what did he do? He drained it, washed it out, refilled it with fresh water, put tilapia in there, and put floating trays of plants like water hyacinth and water chestnut and watercress and stuff, and basically, so he was growing all the tilapia he was trading tilapia to his neighbors and stuff for things. He had so much fish growing, and then he had so much fresh vegetables growing in the water there. And then he was supposed to, the last time I saw his little thing on it, he was supposed to be expanding it to using some IBC tanks on the side for other hydroponics for growing other vegetables, other lettuces and things like that. Watermelons, cantaloupe, cucumbers, trying to think and tomatoes. Like you do, like people are using it in the buckets with the fertilizer solution and growing it. Well, he was going to do that on that. So I wish somehow I got unsubscribed from him. I don't know how that happened, YouTube, and I can't remember his channel name now.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, see, I was sort of a floating garden on the pool, and he had these 3-foot flats out there that were floating, and he had to use a pole to push them around and stuff, and pull one over and harvest stuff off of it. So, I mean, that's one of the things. But he did a lot of research into it, so it's kind of if it happened now, anyone trying that would be a lot of failures, learning by failures and stuff, and trying to get it to work.
Yeah.
But if you have land, plant a garden. Yeah. That's my best advice there, is plant a garden. Oh, and the other thing, hey, Rebel Canners.
Hey, Tammy.
Yeah, is to there are several channels that have been talking about this for quite a while. Have a side hustle. Something else you can do on the side. I mean, a lot of people have channels and stuff. They're selling merchandise and stuff. But then there's others. I mean, the Broussards go take it a little bit farther, and they're selling the elderberry kits, and they sell some other things as well. And Brett makes those the jewelry necklaces and stuff for the crosses. And there are other things that people can do where you can make stuff and develop your craft work now.
Yeah, those skills are really, really important to learn. And it's really sad because that's why I'm so into Abby, because she's young and she gardens. And I think that's so cool. Like, there's a lot of people her age that don't even know where their food comes from, And so I think it's super important to learn skills like that, because, they're not, the things might crash, it might not be good situation. And you're going to have a lot of people that are not going to know what to do.
Yeah. probably, I think one of the other skills, which is going to be in really short supply, is leatherworking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live near a either a cattle ranch or a butcher place where they, if you can get hold of hides and learn how to tan hides and then how to work the leather and stuff, that is a way, because all of a sudden, hey, in a couple of years, how long do shoes last these days? Especially those that have been buying their shoes at Wally World. When I tried buying some work boots at Wally World, I did it about 4 times. I bought every 3 months. I was having to buy a new pair of boots, and I said, "Screw this! I'm paying more on this than I do for a pair of Red Wings." Went out and bought a Red Wings, and they last 5 years for the price of 6 Wally World boots.
Yeah, my husband, he wears the Red Wing, so
yeah. Okay, hang on. I'm just saying, small. I'm concerned. Oh, yeah. Tiber says concerned the small towns are going to be targets when gangs get hungry. Doesn't happen in elsewhere. And then, yeah, and you made the comment about the that's going on in South Africa. Very good point, Steve. People think they're immune because of distance. I mean, I know here where I am, I got 20 miles to the north is Idaho Falls, 20 miles to the south, or 12 miles to the south is Blackfoot, the county seat, and then another 12 miles beyond that is Pocatello and Chubbuck. The only thing I can say is there's a lot of other farmers between me and them. But yeah, there's whatever we grow around here, just about everybody in town has a garden, and just about everybody in town hunts.
Yeah, and like that's another thing that people don't realize either is hunting is not going to be a thing. If you have something like that, yeah, it's not going to be a thing. During the Great Depression, they basically drove a lot of animals to almost extinction because of that reason. So you got to find other ways.
Yeah.
People, I cannot stand people who are like, well, I'll just hunt. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. And then the question is, all right, so you hunt, you got yourself a big elk. What are you going to do with 500 pounds of meat?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if the grid is down, you're not going to be able to freeze it. So you have to find a way to smoke it or
salt it,
something.
Yeah. Can it. Yeah. That's one of our plans. I'm just hoping that the economy limps along for another 5 years, because then my wife will be up here. We'll have sold California house, and then we will have at least 2 steers on the property, sometimes 3. We'll get the other tractor we're planning on getting when she comes up here, and then we'll be seeing about whether, all right, my daughter has rabbits and chickens, so we don't need to do chickens because she's given away eggs. We may get some pigs. My wife was thinking about sheep, lamb chops and mutton and stuff like that. And they don't get out like goats do.
Yeah.
Steve's going zombie on us. Yeah, and Kaylin says sheep milk. There's goat milk, there's sheep milk. It's learning how to make cheese too. So I know, Bruce, this is your first winter down there in Tennessee.
Yep. Sorry, I had to turn off the other sound there. Just
Yeah.
got up here.
The question I have for you, and I don't know if you can answer it. Well, the one you all right. So first, when did you move down there?
Oh, what was it, about 7-8 months ago now?
Okay. So Purple's been working on trying to get a garden going.
Yeah, now it's
Sort of.
at the point where the garden's not going to be working. However, I've already received my orders for the spring. I will be building raised beds, so I know what I'm going to be doing in March, April.
Okay. Are you guys putting in like apricot trees, peach trees, apple trees?
We're talking about it. We've got some of the oh god, what is it? I think they're called kumquats, I believe. And it's trees that are already here. So that's stuff that we already have that we could use, but we want to get like cherry, orange, get a variety of trees so that there's some fruit to go with the vegetables, because she's good at growing the vegetables as long as we're not in a place where it's super cold and they won't grow, or it's raining, 10 times more than it normally does and everything gets flooded out and nothing will grow.
Yeah. One of the things that I remember from back when I was young, when we had a heavy rains, was my grandmother, for some of the garden area, went out there and with my older siblings and cousins, and they put a bunch of stakes in the ground and stuff. And my uncle got some ex-military tarps from the Navy, and they just stretched it over parts of the garden, and then when the tarp hit the ground again, they dug trenches to divert around the water around the next batch. So if with raised planter beds, if you set it up right, you can set up like little teepees over each raised planter bed so it doesn't flood out.
Kind of like you do for during the winter. If you got some stuff you're trying to protect, you build those cold frames or whatever.
Yeah.
Same type of deal.
Yeah. One of the things that most people think about, well, I'll just get a tree next year and the following year I'll have fruit.
Now, it takes sometimes 4 to 5 years, depending on the
5 years,
5 to 7.
Yeah, 5 years to start producing one or two fruit on there. 7 to 9 years to start getting a decent amount, and then about 10 or 11 years where you're actually harvesting stuff that you can as well as eat during the summer. So you and Purple probably may want this winter to sit down and think about what size trees you want to get, because the bigger ones, they're more expensive in the bigger pots. But hey, the bigger
it's always been a dream of mine. My husband doesn't want to do it because, well, we're not in a low level area here, but we have a lot of ponds and stuff in this neighborhood. So I wanted to dig out a place and grow my vegetables in a greenhouse in the ground. Like, I've always wanted to do that. And
my wife's talking about that too, and she comes up here putting in a wallapini.
Yeah, is that what it's called? I'm sorry, I don't know the technical, but I've always wanted to do that because I think like you could totally grow, especially brassicas in that kind of situation in the wintertime would be amazing.
Okay, sorry, I just got distracted with something that Abby posted here. I'm just checking it out.
Joe posted another video.
He posted 2 more videos.
Oh.
One was 4 hours ago. One was 1 minute ago. 4 hours ago was to the can't touch this. Can't touch this. That was for a bushcraft family. And then the last one he did was everyone dressed up like Devo. Whip it good. Oh, Joe. Oh, crud. I'm in the whip it. So's Dustin. I can't see who's in the background there. It might be you, Bruce.
I don't have any piercings or anything, do I?
Oh, that was bad on the last one. Yeah, he on Chippendales. We were Chippendales, and Bruce had nipple piercings. Your ammunition for burning bread. Nipple pursing.
Hey, Garden State Gardener, we're just talking about you. Homestead Aquarius, I missed you.
Hey, Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Hey, all right. Cena in action. Yes. Shoot, do I have it on this one? Did I load it up here? Hang on, give me a second. Crap, where is it? Or is that another one? All right, give me 1 second. Look on the other computer. Do I bring it over here? There's the one I showed it numerous times. And come on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I know it's under here. Okay, there it is. Nebraska retiree. Okay, search it here. I'm going to show you a video on it here and give you the link to it here. Retiree uses. I got to move this link over to this one here. Earth's heat. Earth's heat. Yeah. Okay, let's see if it brings it up here. Yes. Okay, so this is. I'm going to throw the link in the chat here. Tim, you want to check out this video? And I'm going to show it to everybody here. Never mind. It just popped up an ad. Let's see if I can get rid of the ad. It's called Nebraska Retiree Uses Earth Heat to Grow Oranges in the Snow. He has a nice Wallapini. I would like to have one even a quarter of the size of that one. And I can do amazing things here. Okay, so I'm not going to play the sound, but this is the let me go back to the beginning. So, stupid friggin' YouTube ads on stuff that, come on, run through it. I will never buy a Volkswagen because of that commercial. Way to go, YouTube. And I will never buy the florist shot from here either. And that's going to get bad. There we go. Okay, so here's the wall. Here's this Wallapini with the snow. And inside, oranges. There's the gentleman. There's the gentleman there. He's a retired postal worker. So, hey, guys, if you're up north, you can still grow oranges. That's the link. Oh, yeah, Bruce, that's the other thing Ragnarok just told Purple. Pigs help with clay soil. So, yeah, this is, and, not only does he heat the Wallapini, he heats his house as well using the underground geothermal. And so there's that. So I'll bring it back here. So, guys, if you have time, that's something to think about. And I actually need to save this now to this computer. Add bookmark to there. Done. Okay. Now I don't have to go looking for it on the other computer. But the one of the things, like I said, my wife wants to put in a Wallapini here because we get, a couple feet of snow at the most, usually, 6, to 8 inches. And then we got to clear it off the roads and everything. And it slowly melts away. Mm-hmm. But we have several orange trees down there in California she would love to bring up here. And a couple of the lemon trees too.
Oh, good night, Abby.
Night, Abby. That's one of the things we are doing to hedge against an economic collapse is all the stuff we're growing in our garden area. Right now, I'm retired, and the only reason why I haven't gotten a job up here is because I keep on heading to California, moving stuff up here. And it's kind of hard to have a job and say, I got to take a week off here and go to California. And a month later, got to take a week off, go to California. They don't like that. Employers don't like hiring someone and have them gone, 1 week a month. Catch up on the chat here. Okay, so what in the heck is a wallopini? Let me do another thing here. Right? Come on, enter. Okay, I mean, it's not spelling coming up right here. If you don't spell it right, YouTube's not going to. I mean, Google's not going to show it to you. Let me see. There it is. Okay. All right. Wallopini greenhouse. That's WALIPINI greenhouse. They're partially submerged. So here's what one looks like. So
yes, that's the one right there that I want to make.
Yeah, this is the ground level right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of them, what they do is they build it up high on one side, the northern side, obviously, so they have a better slope, and this back wall here absorbs heat as well from anything coming in.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous. Like, I would love to do that.
Now, what some of them do to make it work even better in colder climates, I'm going to see if they have any of the other stuff to it here. Okay.
It's going to wash out the last day of hunting here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading something else.
Yeah. All right. So what some of them will do, basically, they dig a trench from here out, run it out around 100 feet, 150 feet, 200 feet, whatever, zigzag it, whatever they need to do. And they put in that trench several 4, 6, or 8 inch flexible plastic pipe. And they run it out. They run it out and around the back end. So from one end of the greenhouse to the other. And then they put either 120 volt fan, or they get a little solar panel and they put a 12 volt fan on there. And what it does is it circulates the air through the ground out there. And this is deep, about 8 to 10 feet deep. So it picks up the temperature of the ground, which is about 65 degrees, and brings 65-degree air back into the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes the cooler air off the bottom of the other end and pumps it back out, and it just rotates it around. So, and it works 24/7.
Yeah, but in an economical downfall scenario, are you going to be able to do that?
Well, if I can get it in before
fans and all that. Okay.
Well, like I said, I already got 12 volt fans. I got solar panels and stuff. I just need to get the go ahead to put it in, and she's got to figure out where she wants to put it too. But that would be one thing that because Tim was asking about that, and the Kraken points out a thing. Black 55-gallon drums. That's what some people do on the back wall. They'll get the plastic drums, paint them black, and put them on the back wall to absorb the heat.
And heats the air and the fan moves into the space. Yep. It's very interesting. I'm really into that. I would just wish I could do it. I don't think I can because of the water here, the water level. Yeah. I think it would just fill up because we just have a lot of water.
Hey, Ragnarok, who filled up the chest freezers, you or your wife? I thought I saw a clip there where she got 2 deer.
Oh, ouch.
My sister used to go hunting deer, and she always outshot her husband every year. But of course, then if my wife's up here and we wind up hunting, first one gets a deer or an elk. That's it. That's all, or one of each or whatever, and we'll call it good. Ooh,
Build a Wapini in above ground
got
fashion.
two more to go. Woohoo! All right. All right. Yeah. Basically, the wall Wapini is that part of it is submerged, even if it's only 3 feet. Because that 3 feet down here puts you below frost line.
Hmm.
So there's, the heat from the ground, which keeps the frost line up at 30 inches, and you're down 36 inches. So you got that 6 inches extra heat coming up in there too. But yeah. And some of them go really all out, like this one. Heck, if you had something like that, you could just about set a cot out there and live in the Wallapini with the vegetables and stuff.
Yeah, I love that idea. That's cool.
The one of the things that my wife does when we were first married, she, for our wedding, she altered her own wedding dress, which was her mother's. Did the alterations on it. She made all the bridesmaids outfits herself.
Mm-hmm.
And they were good. They weren't one of these funky, weird ones that you can never wear again. She made them so they, she does not believe in wasting money like that. So she made dresses that they could wear elsewhere. And, and she, for a while there, she was doing quite a bit of, seamstress altering, depending how busy she was at work. So that's a side hustle she has. I do welding and stuff as well, but it's like, so does everybody else around here, but that's the skill I do have is, electrical wiring and stuff too. But there's, just, things to figure out other ways you can bring in money. Now, a lot of people are going to hate hearing this. During the Depression, like my grandmother was working 16 hours a day. As many little part-time jobs she could find. My one grandfather was working 8 hours as the town marshal, and then the other 8 hours running the family hotel down in Indio, California. So he worked during the daytime as the marshal, and at night in the afternoon night he was the guy doing that. Taking care of the hotel and stuff and doing the laundry and some of the other stuff too. Going back to lurking on listen. Yeah. So Bruce,
Yes.
You can say, I'd rather not answer this if you want. Do you have a backup for a part-time job?
Nope.
Hey,
I'll just walk around with my rifle on my shoulder, and I'm sure somebody will want to hire me.
So, I have a feeling that Steve's going to be rather busy after an economic collapse. Everyone learning how to shoot a gun right.
That's a nice thing in our little area here. I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about that. Plus, I've got the high ground, so nah.
Yeah, I got 2 moats on the west side of me. The government canal for the Indian reservation, and then the other canal. They're both 15 feet wide and flow fast. Okay, just check it out. All right, so all right, we're hitting to the top of the hour here. But so after everything's gone down, do you guys, have you put on paper any sort of plan, any sort of possibility of ideas of what you might do? That's something to think about. Put it on paper. Say, all right, if they have an economic collapse, what can we do to put food on the table, money in the bank to keep so we don't lose the property, and see what else you can come up with in case I know back in the in the Great Depression of the 1929 30s and stuff, I don't think many people had life insurance.
Mm-mm.
Or medical insurance.
Or Social Security, right? They didn't have that then either.
Or dental insurance.
Yeah.
So there may be a massive change in the structure of way things are done. All of a sudden, dentists and stuff. Dentists may be doing stuff. You need a filling? Okay, that'll be a chicken. Or that'll be 2 dozen eggs. Or that'll be whatever. And that'll probably be the same for some doctors, because I see a lot of insurance companies going out of business.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Tibor, you just made me think of something. Who knows how to make soaps? Natural colognes, perfumes.
I can. I know how to do it. I know how to make soap. I just don't like to mess. I know how to make soap without the lye.
Yeah.
I just don't like to work with lye. It scares me.
Yeah. I know if Heaven's Essentials in here, she makes soaps all the time, and a couple others make soap. And Ragnarok makes a good point. Remember, with livestock, you need to be able to feed them.
Yes.
So generally that's going to mean land.
It makes you wonder, though, if you're probably not going in that kind of scenario. You're probably not going to be able to free range either, because if you're going to have like people that are hostile or whatever, they're going to want to steal your livestock. So free ranging is probably not going to be an option for a lot of your birds.
Yeah. And, you figure out probably chickens are probably going to be your best protein source, because they go after most of the bugs and stuff. We found out here that my daughter's chickens for about 3 weeks ate the 3 weeks this spring. We're out there eating the box elder bugs, and then they wouldn't touch them after that. They got sick of them. They wouldn't touch them after that. And KM, plus you got to protect your flocks from predators. So things to think about. Have family meetings. Try to have a family meeting about preparedness once a month, and pick a topic or work on a topic for a little bit, and then the next month see how you worked on it. Right now, the way things are going, I think economic collapse has moved way up the ladder. It's something I usually didn't think about, and it's something my wife didn't think about, and even she's talking about it. And she's an accountant.
Yeah.
And she's an accountant who used to work for the IRS for a couple of years. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah. Where was it? Yeah. Anthony at Pimento Prepare did a video specifically talking about the act that was put into law to take gold away from people. The type of gold they did not touch was jewelry. So if you had gold necklaces and stuff, they didn't touch that. But if you had gold coins, they took it. If you had gold bars, they took it. If you had gold platters, they took it.
Yeah.
But jewelry was exempted. Yeah. All right, folks, let me bring this up. So today is Thursday. Still going on shooting from the hip tomorrow night, Bruce?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. See what's going tomorrow.
All right. Tomorrow night, Bruce is on at 9 o'clock Eastern at Backwoods Law. Following him on Camp Patton Family Compound, my homesteading channel, we're going to be talking about bread machines and their many uses. And yes, there are a lot more uses for bread machines. And then anything special going on Sunday? Well, Saturday you have, what do you have Saturday? Oh, no, Friday, tomorrow morning, you and
Yeah, Timmy and
Rebel
Tammy.
Tanner
Noon. It's at noon. Mm-hmm.
at noon Eastern time.
Yep.
Nothing on Saturday.
No,
And then
And-
Sunday night you have
just my regular late talk on Sunday night.
just late talk, no
Mhm.
special one, no
Mm-mm.
special interview. Okay. So late talk for Wide Family Farm.
Mhm.
Monday for Camp Patton Family Compound will be what is with the weather this year. When we talk about the anomalies within the weather, how it's affecting gardens and trees, and a lot of fruit trees. From talking to some people around here, are doing weird things. So,
Mm.
and then next Tuesday, back here on Gray Mountain Prepping, we'll be talking about make your own survival foods. Of course, also Monday night after Monday night Fireside Chat. Courtney has Media Monday, which
Yep.
shouts out
At 10 o'clock.
channels.
Yep, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up here. Also, if anybody is subscribed to Broussard Homestead, Brett and Amy are putting together a list of live streams all during the week. So if on Facebook, they're see if I can bring it up and show it to people. Okay, here we go. Their Facebook page is the Broussard Homestead Prep Setting the Cajun Way,
Mhm.
and it's a group page, and on it they have somewhere on it down here they'll have that when they update it. No, that's not it. Scroll down. Come on, there it is. There's the link right there to the live stream. It's a Google Docs. Just click on it and it shows you to it. So that shows all the live streams. If you have a live stream and you want it on the schedule, go ahead to find this and make a comment. Please add us to your live stream schedules. Any late chats tonight? Gear Grind is asking.
I don't think so.
No, not tonight.
Not tonight. Yeah. I think we're all kind of tired. All righty, folks. So just that last thing, once again, have some family meetings or whatever, plan about stuff, think about what you can do if one of these, disaster scenarios actually happens. Everyone talks about economic collapse or a super pandemic or whatever.
Yeah.
Not this little thing we had here, which, was blown out of proportion. But write down options. Because if you come up with an option that works, make a plan around it. Until next time, everyone, stay safe.